My back hurts so incredibly much that I think I'm just gonna use this stake like zip tied to my spine and maybe relieve the pressure. Ooh, just like that joke is not funny. Hello everyone, my name is Miro and welcome to my channel. Today we will have a bit of a relaxing weekend afternoon going through my prop boxes because I've been on my feet since 9 a.m. and now it's 3:30 and I have not stopped. I have been spraying my plants. I've been doing a lot of vacuuming, a lot of cleaning, and my back hurts. We are not young anymore. 33? Why does it feel like 333? Can someone explain to me? This is going to be a bit of a relaxing video. I will try not to go too hard. I did bring some potting mix, though we are very limited with what potting mix we have left before I make another order, which I am successfully postponing. But if something needs to be repotted and it's ready maybe to go out of the prop box, perhaps I will do it. And then I also have some new Hoyas, and I have set aside some Hoyas for my collection that I would like to restart because I believe they don't have the best root system. Now, I don't know if we can do all of that in this video. Probably not, because it's going to last forever, and I know that you like it when the videos are quite long, but we're gonna have to do a couple of shorter videos before we return to the super long form. Though, make no mistake, like this is technically long form, like half an hour is a long form video. Anyway, I will just begin with the prop boxes. I will clip my mic, which I don't love. There's something about the sound that changes once you clip it. So we have 6 prop boxes here and a real prop box of shame, which I may not show you in this video. And then we have some new plants here that need to be repotted, and I have some of those plants here in the prop box, so one of those is actually kind of like a backup. So let's start bravely with the easiest thing, which is my variegated lacunosa. Now, I have gifted one of these to my friend already when she brought me the other Hoyas. So now there are 5. I actually had 7 pots, but one was completely green, and I told her I don't want that either. So she took that and a pot of variegated one. My hair is getting into my mouth, which is always lovely. This is what they look like. There are not too many of them. Ooh, that's warm. Do you know when you open the prop box, I don't know if this happens to you, but like you open the prop box and you get hit by that stale, warm air? As I said, we have 5 lacunosa here. They're all looking pretty good, which, I mean, if I keep moving them, they're gonna slide, so I'm just gonna take them out. This is the smallest one, and we do see a long root here on the bottom, if you can see that. It's right there. Let's not mess with it too much. And on the side of the pot, I also see a couple of roots. The propagations all seem pretty stable in there. Even the one that was slightly greener, I see, is returning with variegation. So cute, but not the cutest that we have here. This one looks like it's ready to get out of the prop box, so I'll just set it aside. Now we start with more variegated ones. So for example, this one also has like a singular vine that's less variegated, and there are now more visible roots on the side. This lacunosa was bigger, but then it suffered pretty severe root rot. I mean, it lost all of the roots. So I cut it into many, many cuttings, and we can see pretty quickly it rooted. Now this mix, what is this mix? I think this is citrus spawn with a bit of my bark, right? Does anyone remember what I potted this in? I think that's that. I think I did citrus spawn with a bit of bark. I don't see any moss. Actually, I'm lying. I'm seeing a couple of strands of moss. So this one is looking much nicer in terms of irrigation. In terms of root, there's plenty. So that's nice. Here on the side as well. So this one looks like it's also ready. Now I will have to sell some of these because I have 5 and no one needs 5. I mean, I do need 5, but let's be real. I'm not gonna sell this one because it's mostly green. If it returns with a bunch of irrigation, then yes. This one potentially looks like something that is sellable. I will just put it in a different pile. Though I like it, it's so cute. It's maybe even the most compact looking one. You'll have to tell me which one to sell. Do you realize that? Now we have another very compact one. Oh, another very compact one is here. Roots on the bottom, roots on the side. We love that. The propagations all seem pretty stable in there. Now this one has fantastic variegation, I would say. I like that very much. Very cute. Now I could put all of them in a singular pot, but I think I'm gonna just mess it up if I do that, so let's not. I'm gonna put that one on the side for myself. This is, again, less compact, with some nice chunky roots towards the bottom. And let's see, the gentle tuck test tells us that all of these are rooted. We have some smaller and larger leaves in this pot. I don't know. I do like it, but it's a little bit messier, which doesn't mean we can't keep her. But it is a little bit messier. So I'm just gonna put it aside. So far, only one is a candidate for sale. And then the last one does not have roots on the bottom, but there's like a root on the side that's visible. Tuck test does tell me that they're all rooted. There's some roots on this side. This one is also not as compact, but it does look good. I mean, I don't know. Do we like this one? Do I just like all of them? I think I'm gonna keep that one, the one before, and the one before. And then this one, that is a little bit more green, I'm just gonna wait till it grows out and then see if I will sell it, trade it, or gift it. And then this one I think we can sell now, even though I like something about this one too. This is like a good balance, I think. It looks nice, compact. There is some green, but it's not a big issue. I see that all the growth is variegated, so I mean, I would buy it. Okay, so I think we can retire that one propbox, and I think with that we conclude decent propboxes. Now we're gonna go into the territory of Hoyas that look horrific. My Lacunosa Bruno has rooted. The rooting method is put it in a box with pumice, trip over it several times, and then it will stop rotting and actually root when the pumice is all over the place. I will gently try to take this out. This one has rooted upside down, but there is a root, which we appreciate. I don't know how to put it in the pot. It's a very small cutting. I think maybe I can try to lay it flat, but I also have to be careful not to tug it too much, because we can totally break that. And then the other one has also rooted in 2 spots. There is a whisper of new growth. I'm just gonna show you that. So that looks okay. I will not pot this on camera because I'm so stressed just touching it. I think I will keep her for now in pumice, but I might pot her very gently. Very, very gently. I'm gonna close this prop box because if I leave it open, I will forget about this. I'm trying to think what's the less bad prop box. I think let's start with this one. It is horrific, but I think this Hoya did not have mealybugs. The other ones had. So just not to touch anything with my nasty hands. I mean, they're not nasty now, but they're gonna be nasty. For this, we will need scissors and a trash bag. These are propagations of Hoya hamiltoniorum. My Hoya hamiltoniorum was in pawn, and it started to very rapidly deteriorate. That was a guess. Maybe we don't say it like that. Started to get yellow leaves. Let's say that. Now, my Hoya Hamiltoniorum has always been a good grower of the vines, but never an amazing grower of the leaves. So the vines were always giving, and she did bloom several times, which is very nice. The flower is quite interesting, a little bit alien-y vibe, if I may say so. All that is great, but the leaves have not been leaving. Well, they have been leaving in a very negative way. I decided to cut it. I saved the base, which had root rot, but I was just hoping because it had some healthy roots, it was gonna be fine. It had no leaves, just a new growth, but unfortunately it croaked. I underwatered it, and I think it just took it into the other realm. I also took a couple of cuttings with no leaves, but they rotted. You will see now. This is horrible. Oh, it smells so bad. Ugh. There's like death in here. There's a lot of fungus too. You know, we have things like this, which I do believe have rooted at one point, but now you can see the fungus has started to break it down. It's, you know, sometimes you can root a Hoya with no leaves and it looks like it's gonna work out, but it doesn't. I may boil this actually and reuse it. There is another. Now this one doesn't look, nope, that's dead. Totally dead. For some Hoyas it's gonna work out. I did propagate caudata from wet sticks and got a big plant in the end, but it doesn't work always. Wet sticks are not the preferred way of rooting a Hoya. We also have this very attractive leaf that has been breaking down almost. We have two more wet sticks, and as we can see, these two, they're also not looking good. But I will say, like, they kind of are giving, like, I don't know, can you see? Like, has it rooted? See, when I pull them out, it doesn't appear like they're rooted, but I can totally lift them. Maybe they have rooted, and I just am ripping the roots. I mean, they're dead. It's fine to rip the roots. So that didn't work. Now, to the part that did, a lot of these Hoya Hamiltoniorum had very long vines, and those vines did not make it. So we can see this one is fine. It has a new growth, but this vine we will take off because it's dead. I'm gonna just disperse them throughout my cabinets. It does need to be taken out because it reminds me of that Hoya I bought in Sweden, which now escapes me. I can't remember it, but I think it's a little bit similar to Hoya Hamiltoniorum, and that one stayed too long in the prop box and essentially ended up like these. They don't seem to like excess moisture because these cuttings looked fine, but then, you know, they start to sort of deteriorate. This one also looks good. Plenty of roots, healthy leaf. I will say one thing, these Hamiltoniorum Hoyas, the leaves that fell off were already a little bit yellow, so only the healthy green leaves remained. I really wish I could remember the Hoya that I liked. Maybe Mangai. I think that one croaked. I'm so sorry about that. But well, I was gonna say I love the leaves on Hoya Hamiltoniorum, and then I spilled a bunch of pon, or actually pumice, which does not make me happy. I spent a good amount of hours vacuuming today. Okay, we have two more to go through. This one has a disgusting vine. See? A bunch of that died. The leaf is fine. It's rooted here on this other side. I am not going to sell any propagations. I don't need 4 Hoya Hamiltoniorum, but I just want to establish at least one really, really well, see some new growth, and then I will decide which one to sell, because I don't need 4. They do get pretty big, though I do really like it. I didn't, when Basie first sent it to me, I didn't understand why would anyone want this Hoya, but believe me, it's one of my favorite now. All that vine with several peduncles, which is a shame because we'll have to wait a couple of years to see this in bloom most likely. Actually, I think this is a peduncle left on this one. So if that could make it. But it does have a new vine. I need to figure out where to put this because the issue has been with this Hoya that she grows really fast and it takes forever to develop leaves, and a lot of the times they will fall. So I need to figure out where to put it. And it could be the excess of water because she was in pawn that made her do that. We'll see. Though I think with many Hamiltoniorums that I have seen online, they kind of look, you know, it's not the prettiest in terms of like how many leaves you get per vine, if that makes sense. I think we're going to now go for this prop box. I did want to grab a drink. Of course, I have coffee today. Lovely. Okay, so here we have several things. Ooh, I don't know if I can show you one Hoya. I want to show, ooh, I can't. There is a Hoya in this prop box that I cannot show you. I can show it to you, but I'm not gonna say a single word. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because I'm going to make a video on this. This is a Hoya, and bye. Oh, she has mealybugs. She did arrive with mealybugs. I just did not expect that they're going to be laying eggs. Well, thank you very much. That's so lovely. There are several, so we need to spray this with Castile soap and then we are going to treat this. Yep, we have mealybugs. Well, all right, that's an interesting choice. Might take a moment until you see that video. We have a propagation of my Hoya caudata. I was taking cuttings of this plant and I just could not bring myself to sell this because it was such a beautiful cutting. Oh my goodness, it's just a little bit nasty because we had some flowers. It has a bunch of aerial roots, as we can see. This one also needs to be sprayed. So this is Caudata Gold. Has she rooted? Yep, she has. So very beautiful Hoya. And I'm happy to make a duplicate, though I'm not super thrilled about the bunch of aerial roots everywhere that are a little bit moldy, it seems, but it's understandable. She's gonna get a spray. Now it's kind of hard to tell if are any of these mealybugs. There shouldn't be any. She didn't have any, but now she was in the prop box with that Hoya. I did put her in a separate bag, but they could have easily gotten in there. But I think maybe it's mold because it did flower while it was propagating. So I think a lot of this is actually just mold, but I will just wash it, clean it, and monitor it. I'm now going to keep it with that other one because she compromised. Also one of my favorite Hoya. I did see a tiny mealybug on that other Hoya that I showed you before, Caudata, when it arrived, and I did remove it. I sprayed it with Castile soap and I put it in the prop box, but it seems that one spraying wasn't enough. So we're gonna do a couple of treatments in the prop box. Now, this is a lacunosa that I had before, and mine croaked last year. Definitely the mealybugs have compromised the other cuttings. This is with an EPC number. I will write it on the screen. It's one of my favorite lacunosas. It croaked when I don't know what I was doing with the tent. I think I was moving something around and it was in cocoa husk. And I took her out and I left it in my kitchen and it just dried out. And I thought she is okay. But when I finally picked her up to water it and to put it back, I saw that she really isn't. So it's a very cute Hoya lacunosa. She kind of supposed to have narrower and longer leaves and higher light than this. This lady grew her, I don't think in sufficient light, because she bought this cutting from me and I can see that she also has mites. So this one needs to be treated. And she also sent me this cutting of, I think, Cagayensis as a gift. Now, this one looks fine, except that it's very small. And honestly, nothing to write home about, but I will just keep this in a prop box. So these four will have to be treated and they need to stay in a prop box. They are not ready to meet the rest of the collection. I'm not gonna do anything with my hands because I know this other prop box has had mealies, but for the last two prop boxes, oh, three, there's a lot. I will do something with my hands, probably chop them off. Oh, we have things here. We have things here that don't look good. So what has happened here? Many things. I took a cutting of my Rinsey from Borneo because I was pissed off at my plant and she grew terribly. And now it grew another leaf in here. We'll see. I think this is going to be a forever propbox plant. I'm very irritated with this Hoya. I used to grow it beautifully. I did grow it in semi-hydro when I grew it beautifully, and it did really well. Then I moved her to pon, and she didn't like that. And after a while, I moved her to a regular Hoya mix with bark and moss, and she kind of liked that, but I suspect the roots were... I really should have just restarted her. And then I underwatered her many times, so I just think this Hoya needs to be evenly watered at all times, probably in a self-watering pot, which she wasn't in the last setup. But you also cannot over water rinse. Just a very moody Hoya. Very beautiful leaves, truly beautiful. I don't know how anyone can sell this Hoya for anything less than $1 million because she's just incredible pain in the butt. Incredible. If you grow it well, let me know so I can curse you. Joking. So I can take your advice, but if you grow it in organic mix. I think I'm going to leave her in a prop box as well, just until the apocalypse, I guess. Just like forever. You know, when it first started to croak, which was very inexplicable, it was doing really well in semi-hydro in Leca, and just out of nowhere it started to drop the leaves, and I really couldn't figure out why. The same thing happened to my New Guinea ghost. The leaves would just get very dry on the edges and fall off, and a lot of them would fall off even green, and very quickly it started to lose all of its leaves. It was really beautiful, and I managed to take 6 or 7 cuttings, and I think only 2 made it. The rest croaked, not because it's too difficult to root. This was easy to root, but because it was losing leaves, and just, even though the cuttings looked healthy, whatever disturbed the plant was already in the tissue. Moodiness, right? I don't know. So only the base survived and the top cut. The rest of them croaked. A lot of people have been asking me for a cutting of this plant, and I keep saying soon, but that day never comes. And now we're just left with this. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it. I just don't think that I will ever grow it well again. Wow, that's not very positive. For the millionth time, I'm recovering my Gunung Gading, and I think we have a new growth here finally. Gunung Gading is a Hoya that, once again, I also grew incredibly well. And some people have asked me even how I grow it. It grew in a year more than 2 meters, and then I was like, this is a pretty expensive Hoya back then in 2020, right? So I chopped it down so I can buy more Hoyas, and I left only a couple of cuttings for myself. They eventually did croak, but they never grew again, ever. They bloomed, but they never grew again. And then this is a cutting from my mother plant sent to me by a person who bought one of my cuttings that grew, I don't know, 5-6 meters of Gunung Gading, and she sent me, I was asking to buy a cutting, and she just didn't want to sell any to me, but she sent me a nice small cutting, and that grew okay until recently when I was painting my room, and then it croaked because I left it to dry out way too long, and then I thought, you know, I can just water it and it will be fine, but it didn't. You know, most of the leaves fell off. This is the only leaf that was left, and I was like, oh, take a cutting, root it, and you know, there are plenty of roots now, and even the new growth, so hopefully it will start growing fast again. So I'm just gonna put it aside. I don't think this is ready to get out of the prop box. I would like to see a couple of more leaves before we expose it to the environment. This atrocious plant is the worst plant you can ever wish for. It is Hoya fusca. I have 2. I don't even remember anymore. One is from Timea, one is from Basie. I think this one is from Timea. And it was growing okay towards the end. What I figured out about Hoya fusca, she doesn't like to be that warm, and she doesn't like high light. She had mealybugs, but they're gone. I don't know why they're gone. I did not treat them. So I feel this is like a Trojan horse type of a situation. I will, I think, still leave it in the prop box until the new growth becomes better looking. I could take another cutting somewhere here because this is going to be ugly, but I think I'm first going to wait for this new growth to establish itself. I'm not even bringing it closer because it looks atrocious. This plant can look very beautiful and it does have a beautiful flower, but for many, many, many people, it's a pain in the butt. The other one is from Basie. Now, I don't know if Basie has a different clone, but the Basie's clone is just forever cursed. I see a new growth on the top. It's just, they both look terrible. It's a horrible Hoya. I do not recommend it. Do not buy Hoya Fusca. Believe me, I wanted this Hoya for such a long time and everyone was telling me it was terrible and was like, no, I can do it. I can fix him. No, you can't. Run. Don't look back. I think people who do grow it well, not to be shady, but I think it's mostly luck. Now we have three Hoya. Is it three Hoya Kari? Yeah. My Hoya Kari also, same story. I was painting the room and they were left to their own devices and they died almost completely. They also had a lot of mealybugs, but I see none. However, I will spray it. Hoya Kari is a Hoya that either grows really well for me or it just makes very weird leaves and weird vines. I don't know. I think she doesn't like to be trellised. I don't think I've been a very good grower. I mean, I've been a good grower. She did grow well, but I don't know. I'm just going to try her in ambient conditions right now and see how that looks. I think also I've been exposing this one to too much light. But they're all rooted, which is good. I would just now like to get Hoya Kari with big leaves. I saw that in Sweden, some people had leaves as big as my palm. I don't know how. This is like the biggest leaves that I grew. I can grow smaller leaves. I can grow leaves the size of the half of the nail. I think it's just too much light because the light dictates the size of the leaf on Hoya very directly. So if you're ever getting leaves that are too small and the Hoya is not supposed to have small leaves, shift it to a lower light. Don't go for higher. So I'm pretty happy with this. I think I'm going to leave Gunung Gading and Rinsi Borneo in the Pro box. Actually, I'm going to leave all of these. Now I'm going to go and wash my hands. I gotta be quite honest with you, I don't think I'll be able to do any repotting. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. There's pain. Oh, I forgot my microphone. Oh my goodness, I've been doing a lot of heavy lifting, moving. You will see, I think, next week what I've been doing. It's a lot of work, but some of you are gonna like it and some of you are gonna hate it. It's gonna be a big, big, big change. Let's start with this prop box. What is my camera telling me? Whatever. So this one is really full, very full. There's a Hoya here I don't recognize. I have a bunch of small caudatas. I think these are all caudata from Sumatra. These are going to stay in here until they have more leaves. I will hopefully downsize the Pro box. These are I call them the ugly duckling cuttings, right? So the ones that really look terrible, but I decided to give them a shot. Like this one is mostly yellow leaf. Sometimes these terrible cuttings don't even want to root, but I think this one has. So see, it's a little bit chlorotic. So it's gonna go down here. They're worse, no worries. I don't particularly love this one either, though this is okay-ish. I think this is also caudata from Sumatra. It's okay. Nothing to write home about. But I think potentially we can even take this one out. This is also ugly. See, it's like cuttings like these that I don't want to throw away, but the leaves are like too small. That's just not much to look at. So those are going to go back in a smaller prop box, I think. We will wait for them to grow. These are like capable of growing good plants, but I don't want to trade with these. I don't want to gift them. I don't want to sell them. You know, if I'm gifting Hoya, I like it to be good. Same with selling and trading. So these ugly ducklings have to stay. The issue with that is sometimes you gather way too many ugly ducklings and then you have a farm of ugly ducklings and you don't know what to do. I always say in my videos, when you take Hoya cuttings, don't do this. But it is absolutely possible to root a long cutting. This is a very long cutting to root. And I did it because, first of all, I was potting it immediately and I just knew it was going to take, well, No, I'm lying. I'm actually lying. I put it in a bag. It's on my Patreon. I can't lie because it's on my Patreon. I put it in a bag and I forgot it for a week. And then it got a bunch of aerial roots and then I potted it. But I see a new growth here. There's plenty of roots. But it went into a bag. The point is, I knew that it was going to be fine because I knew that it was going to hold on to the moisture. And as we can see, it absolutely did root. It has so many aerial roots that we could chop this into many cuttings, but I'm not going to. Instead, I think I'm just gonna grow this out. This is ready to leave the prop box, but I'm not sure what trellis I'm gonna put this on. So I have to think about that. So this is a Caudata TN99008, or is that a flagellata? This is the Caudata. I will look at the session number. This is another one. Maybe I will pot them together. I don't know. I do like my Caudatas. I don't mind having two of the same. So there is another one. Now, I don't know, is this Caudata from Sumatra? I may have to look at my video. These look very similar. It's virtually impossible to tell them apart by leaves. Y'all have to take a look at my Patreon video because now I have no idea who's who. This is also one of those two. This is even a decent cutting. There's like a little bit yellow, but it's not an ugly duckling. Now this one is an ugly duckling. The leaf is yellow, so we're gonna put her in the ugly duckling pile. Now we have a bunch of patella. All the patella is yellow, almost all. So I will just see if I can select the better looking ones. The vines, even though they don't have leaves, the vines are, I think, are alive. They have all rooted. This happened in a prop box. I cut down my big Hoya patella and I put the cuttings in a prop box that I just sprayed, kind of like the bag method, but I never took care of them and they have yellowed. This is a plant. I think this is a Mapigera. It's very loosely rooted, so it's gonna go into the severe urgent care pile. Not even gonna, can't believe I'm showing you this. I gotta say, a lot of these patellas look terrible, but like this one, it already has a new growth, so it's definitely on its way to recovery. The leaves are absolutely yellow and disgusting, but there is new growth. Now the trick is to make that growth happen. This one doesn't have a new growth, but as we can see, all the leaves are yellow. There are roots, which is good. Sometimes in the prop box, what happens is the Hoyas start to grow, but they don't continue. The vines just die back. This is an ugly cutting of Hoya caudata from Sumatra. I remember this. This is Hoya Irina. This needs to grow more. I've gifted one cutting to my friend. I kept one bigger for myself, and this small one I'm gonna grow out. So I'm gonna put it into the ugly cutting pile. This I have no idea what it is. I have no idea. This is a Hoya I put into the prop box last year, and it rooted. It never grew. I put it in perlite and I just took it out and put it in the mix. I think it is similar to Kinegiana, but I'm not sure. It's just random ass cutting. So it's gonna go into the ugly cutting. I have a name. I do have a name someplace for it, but I'm not even gonna bother. I honestly don't care. It was a gift I didn't ask for. Yeah, so more of the ugly patellas. This is rooted, some new growth. So all the patellas seem to have started to grow, even though they're all in terrible shape. I'm gonna put them in a prop box like the one you saw for Hoya hamiltoniorum. Maybe something like this, tall but narrow, so they can kind of go up. This is another, I think another Mapigera. Extreme care pile. That is 8 Hoya patellas. We're starting a nursery. Oh, this one is by far the best. By far. I'm just thinking what am I gonna do with them and how to grow them out. I think I need to actually put them in a big prop box, but on a small trellis. Maybe that's gonna work. Now this is definitely a cutting of Mapigera. Not urgent care, but pretty bad. That plant, it was growing okay. And then it lost the roots. Then it wasn't growing anymore. Shocking, right? So 2 more patellas. These are all patella pink. I annihilated my patella white one more time. I'm surrounded by Hoya, so we need to take a second to clean this a bit. We are down to the last 2 prop boxes. So far the plan is to establish a small prop box for these very extreme cases. I think I'm going to try to separate Hoya I somehow, maybe even let it grow, but in filtered light in room conditions because they are rooted. Caudatas, the big cuttings can be repotted if I just figure out where. The smaller ones, the medium ugly ones, I think I'm gonna put into a prop box. We have a couple of more plants in 2 more prop boxes, and then we're gonna be done. I definitely am not doing any repotting now because this is taking forever. These you have seen already, but they are so beautiful. Unfortunately, they still have mealybugs, but they're very beautiful. I will have to look exactly what the name of this carnosa is. It's something like Splash, but it's just so pretty. They need to be treated for mealybugs because Hoya Rangsan in here has mealybugs again. So these are gonna stay in isolation, I think. I have 3 boxes of my small Tinctungensis. I'm not even gonna look at that. I think those are fine. Those are just like forever prop box type of a thing. Like eventually I will repot them, but I'm not gonna look at this now. First we have Hoya Chuniana, right? I think Chuni is incorrect name. I think it's Chuniana, or maybe it is Chuni. I will have to look. This one rooted really well. This is, I think, very close to Nicholsonie. A lot of new roots all over. The leaves are pretty. Very Nicholsonie vibes. And I do love Hoya Nicholsonie. Now this one will need to get a trellis soon. I don't see any mealybugs, but it will be treated because it arrived with Hoyas that do have mealybugs. I just need to cut off this vine because it aborted. This is Hoya Paradisea. That is my own cutting that I gave to my friend, and then she gave it back now because it didn't grow for her, but it's growing already here. So this is new growth. We have several new leaves, 5 new leaves. So we're just gonna keep growing this. I see their roots. It's looking good. I will spray it with castile soap and it will remain in isolation. I'm so happy I have this plant again. Now Rangsan tipped over, so we might need to add some potting mix. Actually, you know what? There's the potting mix in the box is enough. So this has nice roots. It was already rooted, but now it grew roots in my conditions and it grew a new leaf. So these are the leaves that it came with. I'm just gonna hide the leaf from you. Wait, how do I hide? So you can see the leaves that it came with. Nice, right? But then it grew the best leaf in my care and it grew another mealybug. Look at that. I mean, am I the best or what? It grew that in low light on the bottom of the tent. So low light is really the answer for some of these Hoya. That leaf is just perfection. It is perfection. This is why I love Hoya Rangsan. Like, I don't like the flower. I think the flower is pretty ugly. But the leaves are truly, truly magnificent, especially like that one with more splash. It just looks so different than the older leaves. Very sectoral splash. Fantastic. But this carnosa, every time I see her, a small tear leaves my eyes. What a weird way to say that. She's just beautiful. She is giving so much splash. The green, the deep green of the leaf. It's all I live for. This is why I love some of these Hoyas. I mean, I can't stand it. I can't stand how beautiful this is. Get ready. I'm hyping it up so much you're gonna not like it, but it's beautiful. I mean, oh, look Oh my goodness. I mean, shut the heck up. Mwah. I probably kissed a mealybug's butt. Oh my goodness. How effing gorgeous is that? Shh. Potting mix is falling all over. I mean, that's just amazing. You are so beautiful. Keep growing the magnificent leaves that you have given me so far. I just love, 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 love that plant. The worst part about this is I still have to clean up this when I'm done recording. Let me show you the cuttings that I got. My Hoya, what was it? Benguetensis croaked, as you have seen in the video. Now, I don't know, one of these is Benguetensis. Oh shoot. One of these is Benguetensis and one of these is Ciaria. Red, Blaschernazi. No, is it red? Yes, it is red. I had yellow. It's red. Now, I don't remember. One of them might be Benvergarai. I'll have to look. I think to me this is giving Blaschernazi, right? No, one of them is Elagiorum red. Okay. Okay. Okay, this might be Elagiorum. This might be Elagiorum red. I'm not sure. I will check. It is giving Elagiorum. And then I think this could be... It's very hard to tell apart Blaschernazi and Benguetensis. So one of those is this. I grew both. Both, I think, Philippine Hoya. So I need to root these, so I will need to establish another propbox. I need to, somehow, I had 6 propboxes. I need to fit all this into 3. I don't care how. So this is from my friend. It needs a repot, a spray, a little bit of care. This could be Blaschernazi or Benguetensis. I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I will write the name. I will ask her. It will get a new potting mix and it will stay isolated. Now she did give me a patella as a backup and I will repot this patella. It's not looking good and she knows. I will try to recover this. So a much smaller pot and a different mix. Then rigidifolia because I also annihilated mine. Now this one has had mites. We can see signs of mites there on the bottom. You can see that kind of corking. So this needs to be sprayed, but there are no mealybugs. So I think repetitive castile soap treatments will do. It needs to be repotted as well. So rigidifolia. I always wanted a variegated one, but another latifolia inner variegated. I do have one, but mine is just always, she's always been a weak plant, you know. My friend was looking to get rid of her plant and I was being a good Samaritan, so I accepted it. I'm rehoming. It's charitable work. It really is. You don't have to say anything. I know. Beautiful plant. I have always loved this latifolia for its leaves and nothing else. I don't like latifolia flower. I never will. They're messy. They attract mealybugs like no other Hoya. The only redeeming quality is the leaves with latifolia. And then we have Hoya Fici. Hoya Fici is in some sort of pond mix, which I need to sort out. So it will be sprayed, repotted to organic mix, fixed up, you know, a bit of rehab, which I will do today. I really will. And then I have some of my Hoyas. I'm just going to show you one. I think I need to restart this. It's just paper thin and it has been watered. This is Hoya species Acha. The worst clone of Hoya species Acha, and I think the roots are in pretty bad shape, so yeah, they're gone. I'm gonna restart this one. Yeah, so I have my work cut out for me. I'm also gonna propagate some stuff. This is like the leftover of my Hoya GORGEOUS. I had many Hoya GORGEOUS silver cuttings, and I left this base with no leaves, and I'm just gonna cut it again, I think into singular cutting, maybe. Essentially what this is what I do. I leave the base and then it's gonna start growing, and then I'm gonna take another cutting until we finally reach the bottom. I was hoping that it would start growing somewhere lower. So I think I'm gonna take a cutting here, and then if the base branches out one more time, then I will take another cutting and then we can throw it away. But I'm gonna root this. I have two more bigger GORGEOUS silver. Well, one of them is not bigger. It's in the cabinet. One of them is the other cabinet. So that's something that I need to do. And then I just need to get through another big propbox, which is a lot of dead plants. So let's do that quickly before I sign out. As if all the pain wasn't enough, on top of everything, I have a cramp. It's not looking up. It's just worse and worse and worse. Pater noster, qui es in celis. This is rough. In this prop box, we have a lot of stuff like this. Now, this one long time ago looked pretty. This is Hoya praetori. And I do believe this too is Hoya praetori. We need to put this someplace where it's going to be able to grow out those leaves, because this is rooted. Actually, I might need to just put it outside of the prop box. This prop box receives no light. So that's why these Hoyas look like this. It's just too big. It was filled with Hoya, but I've been throwing out stuff from it. Mealybugs. These had mealybugs, but no more. So I think I can start growing them out in my cabinet. They're very weird. Obviously long branch with small leaves because they received not enough light. What a sentence structure. They received not enough light. Praetori again. These are alive. They're tiny baby leaves and there are roots. It's way too wet. I need to find a spot for them in my collection and hope they grow out. So one mealybugs. I also have a bigger one that's not doing well. Completely my own fault, by the way. Second mealybugs, only a singular leaf. I do think I will put these into my cabinet to grow them out, because they're gonna like it there. Hard to believe I once had a huge plant, right? Third mealybugs, this one croaked, so we can throw this away. That's trash. This was another one, so that's trash too. Yep, rotten all the way to the bottom. Also another trash. These all started to grow. Very easy to propagate, by the way, from vines with no leaves. The issue is, you have no idea the level of neglect this has received. It has been in absolute darkness during the summer, and they cooked. These should not be alive. This one is alive, and hopefully it's going to start growing. So this is going to go into a prop box, a different one, smaller one. I don't do this on purpose, but I have just been out of alignment with the plants. This is a begonia. This is also a begonia. I should throw this away. This is Hoya denumensis, subspecies amari. Looks horrible. Again, no light will do this, but I think it can go into a prop box of different kind. I forgot what this one is. I will have to look up. This is for my friend. Oh, it's Aldricki. Aldricki, I see the name. Needs a repot. We will fix this up. I probably will not keep it. She thought that the leaves are interesting because they're pale green. They were much paler than this, but they greened up. The rest is just Lois androsiana that I had for a while. Finally croaked. That leaf is disgusting. That leaf is about to burst. Oh, awful. So I'm gonna just throw this stuff away. I surrounded myself with Hoyas, made a mess. I'm going to start organizing things into clean prop boxes, they're going to be the same ones, just smaller, hopefully. I do need to pot and repot some Hoyas here. And hopefully, again, I just get to a smaller number of things. that's what I'm gonna do and enjoy the absolute devastating pain. Oh my goodness. Well, hello there again, you. I just wanted to do a quick sign off. I didn't forget to do it yesterday. I just thought that I was going to do a little bit more in that video, a little bit more of repotting, which, considering we did none, anything would have been better, but I just did not have it in me. I was very tired. I have not been only working for that day, but for several days before that, and the night before that video, I got like 3.5 hours of sleep. Honestly, my health app, it's like my average sleep time is 5.5 hours, which is not great. It should be minimum of 7, but I will take 6.5, you know? But anyway, another point of this video, I just really wanted to record an outro and apologize for there not being a repotting. I will do it, and I think I might even record it, so maybe it will be part of a future video or on Patreon, I'm not really sure, but I will record. I will try to record the repotting. I was also recording 3 other videos this week, so some for the channel, some for the Patreon. So I was just really like no energy to finish that off properly. Actually, another video I was hoping would come out today. I think you're gonna get to see this now, and it didn't finish it in time. So, you know, next week you're going to get to see that, but I still hope that the video was enjoyable for you. I know that the energy was not super high, but honestly, considering how much my back hurt and my pelvis, it was okay. My back still hurts a little bit, but I think the more rest I get, it will be better. Also, you know, the issue is I've been doing, again, a lot of moving stuff around, lifting heavy things, and let's get into the nasty territory, right? Sweating a lot, going outside when it's cold, so that all contributed. We are really acting like we're 20 when we are 33. Not gonna cut it. But anyway, hopefully it was not terrible for you to watch. If it was, you're probably not even gonna arrive to this apology, so sorry, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. I will see you in the next video. You can let me know in the not the chat box, in the comments below. You can let me know what were you doing while watching the video. Do you have nasty prop boxes in your home as well? Because I do have, but those were really all of them. We really went through all of the prop boxes, and I ended up having more than I hoped for. I was really hoping to cut down to 3, but I think I have like 5. Yeah, I have 5 of them. Some of that is because I would still like to isolate some of those hairs. So they're not necessary for growth, but for isolation. Maybe in a couple of weeks, they will be out of those prop boxes. But yeah, that is it. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you very quickly in the next video, no matter what happens, because it's almost done. And even if I get sick, you know, it's gonna come out next week. I really shouldn't say that, because now I'm really inviting something terrible to happen. Just zip it. I need to zip it. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a wonderful weekend and the week ahead. Bye-bye. I would like to take some time to thank all of my patrons for their incredible support. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 2 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal and Margaret Moon, Andrea Cherish, Angela Bernard, Anna Malia, Anna P. Aspen Drake, Betsy Brett Noble, Catherine Molina, Connie Pagano, Daniela Danube Daniels, Daria W, Deanne Sikorsky, Edith W, Elena Saxon, Ellen, Farah Francis Wilkins, Gathering Moss, Gina Geise, Grossitz Kyle, Hannah Matlin, Hoji Scott, Into the Forest, Yana Griffin, Jen C, Jessica Chio, Jody D. Gomez, Jonas Barker Larson, Kara, Catherine P, Casey Gross, Kelso, Kimberly Polka, Christy Ehrlich, Laura Castle, Al Lindbergh, Lee Mooney, Lucas Erchevsky, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Maria Zakova, Marina Yarmovich, Marty Miller, Melissa Walker, Michelle Heron, Mirka Grun Roos, MJW, Moa Edmund, Miss Seidenhar, Anna Naley Yang, Nicole Maroney, Nanguin, Nita Macy, Odette, PJ, Syke Sarah, Rachel Peterson, Susan Rebecca C. Renee Church, Sharon Bones Starla Von Lith, Subi Cordecangas, Tessa Martins, Thomas Marsden, Tia B, Trista Bailey, Tristan Thomas, Vampire Siren, Van Alien, Xenia Green, Youth of the Volume, Zaira Rivera, Zlakov Niponi, and A Flower. A big thank you to my $3 patrons: Botany Benz, Kilone, Daryl Del Rosario, Eden Corlett, Holly Borner, Ivy, Joanna, KPZ, Lindsay Ann, Maria Isabel, Monica Wykers, Ringlov, Tangwat Nisria Cool, VH, and www.myhoya.shop. And a thank you to my $1 patrons: Alice Borland, Ann C., Brandon Pacheco, Couture Helvetica, Dipanjali Rao, Amelia Bronson, Jolie Sullivan, Julie Lafford, Kayla Bavra, Kelly Ash, Kelly Gallagher, Chris Perez, Laura Jackson, Lorianne Subramanian, Luzmin Fernandez, Mary Diamond, Mary Rose, Amelie Spicer, Nerdy Kathy, Olivia Chin Mueller, Pacific Northwest Plant Lady, Pax Slydig, and Steph Fox.